Before we start the video, I would like to take a moment to say thanks to all my patrons. I wouldn't be able to keep doing this without you, and I wouldn't be able to be motivated like this without you. So thank you so much for all your support. I would also like to say thanks to Joshua and Victor for their tier 3 sub this month, and special thanks to Code Gorilla and James Bond for his tier 4 sub this month. I would also like to point out that my Ultimate C# and Unity course is live on Udemy right now, and that you can click the card in the top right corner to learn more about the course and enroll. In this video we are going to implement the last tier 1 talent, which is our improved lightning bolt. So let's get right to it. Let's open up our script and find our spells, and let's see here, actually not spells, talent, and we have our improved firebolt and improved frostbolt here. So let's make a new one called improved thunderbolt, and the improved thunderbolt needs to be kind of like the others, so we can just open up our fireball, and then afterwards we can open up our thunderbolt just to copy paste what we had in the fireball. Let's see here, this is our thunderbolt. Let's just take everything from the fireball, copy it and paste it into the thunderbolt. We also need to take in everything that we have here that we inherit from, and then we need to right click quick actions and implement, oops, not like that, right click quick actions and using Unity Engine.event system here. So now we have everything set up here. We need to rename this to Thunderbolt because there's no reason to get the fireball in this talent, and we don't need the cast time. So let's do something, and we need to make a spell, and this is our not spring joint but spell, and this is our Thunderbolt, because I would like to get a reference to it because I need to use the values from it a couple of times. So instead of getting it from the spellbook every time, I can just make a reference here. For the improved Thunderbolt, I would like to increase the damage by 5% per talent. So to do that, I say Thunderbolt dot my damage plus equals Thunderbolt dot my damage divided by 100 multiplied by 5. There we go. So I would like to divide first, just to make it clear what we're doing. And this should give 0.25 if the damage is 5, for example. 5% might be a bit high for you if your game has larger numbers. So you can always decrease this number here to a lower one if you feel like 5% is too much per talent. Right now we're using very low numbers. I think we're going to increase them just to see the effect of this this year, and this is purely for demonstration purposes, right? You can always implement this exactly as you want it in your own game. It complains here and tells you that you can't change the damage because there is no set on this property. So let's do that, and let's say damage equals value. There we go, not value tuple but value. Oh, wait, I need to write set, that's why I set. And now I can say damage equals value. There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's not going to complain anymore inside the improved Thunderbolt. Here, it's fine. We're going to say improved Thunderbolt here. And it will increase the damage of your Thunderbolt by 5%. And you could also do like this, make a private integer called %, set it to 5 here or something, and then multiply with it here, and here you can just add it in. And then change this to a like that. So it's going to write whatever you change. So if you change this here, you only need to change it one place. You don't need to change it throughout your code. Anyway, with that done, I think that is it for this talent here. Let's try to save. And let's go here to our talent tree. And right here you'll see that we have different thing. Let's just open up the content and tier 1 and find the abilities and find our lightning. So I'm using lightning somewhere and thunder somewhere else. I should use thunder or lightning throughout the whole project. So it might be a little confusing. It could also be a lightning bolt instead of Thunderbolt, whatever. I add the new improved Thunderbolt, and I just take and steal everything from the top here. Its max count is 3. Unlocked. I'm not even sure if I use that unlocked anymore from the get-go. Actually, I think we could go to talent and find the one called unlock. I think we could do like this and it would still work, because I'll show you in a second. See here, text goes there. Child talent would be lightning 2. Arrow sprite is that one, and the other arrow sprite is this one. Oops, now I misplaced it. There we go. And that's it, and then we take improved lightning and put it here, Thunderbolt here. Then remove the original talent, and we click on the talent tree, and you'll see that it's missing something here, because we need to take the lightning and put there, and the lightning and put it down there. And this is the reason that I think we don't need that unlocked ticked as serialized. So we can try to run it and see here. If I open up, they are unlocked and I can click them. Okay, so that works. So we do not need this bool to be serialized. Are we actually using it anywhere? We're using it here. Yeah, okay. So let's try to run this and see how it works. Right now it might be hard to see. So let's actually just select our spellbook. Where is it? There. And say that my base damage would be 50 for all of them. So 50 base damage for all of them. Then we run the game. And you will see if I use the... Oops, that's not a lightning bolt. That's a... There. So if I do like this and cast on him, it does 50 damage and it dies. Okay. If I increase it with the talent, it should do more. Let's see here. We take Thunderbolt, put it here. So it's 5 now. 50 now, and I increase it by 5%. Still 50. 50 and 50. So I'm not increasing it. Let's see here why I'm not. So the problem might be that my damage is an integer, so that it rounds it down. So let's see if I put is, yeah, it might be 0. So the damage divided by 100 but multiplied by 5 might be 0. So I add 0 damage to it. That's not what I want. So we actually need to go to our spell. And in here we need to go to damage and change it to a float instead. This is going to make your program complain a bit of different places, but everywhere it complains, you simply just cast it to a float. And it should still complain a bit, I think. Let's try to build. There we go. So when we in attack routine in player, it says that, well, new spell damage is not correct because we need to go to initialize inside the spell script and change damage to a float. And then we're going to click here and find the damage on the spell script and change that one to a float. And if I build now, I shouldn't have any problems. So if you build and you find problems, just change things to a float. Anyway, now that we've done that, it should change it. However, we might get some weird numbers, so we also need to do something else. Let's see here, we put it here. And we have this. 52.5. 55.121. 25. And 57. So we don't want that's common numbers, right? We don't know 57 point something. So we are going to round up that number. And we can do that inside the spell script. Do I have it here? There. And here we have the damage. The damage here is a float now. And we need to string. And we can just change it to 0 point nothing, I guess. Or actually, I would like to round it up so I can use math float dot ceiling. Seal to end. Seal. And then take the damage. So this will round up the damage. So it's if it's 52 point something, it will round it up to 53. So we are actually making it better for the player because we're rounding the value up. Let's see what happens now. So we have a Thunderbolt, 50 damage, 56, and 58. So let's see what actually happens if I attack this one over here. It says 58, let's try to attack him. And just 57.888 something, right? It writes that. Well, we would also like to write a correct number. So let's see here, if we actually find the damage here that's on the spell and return it. Actually, if we just, when we return it, we say damage mathf seal. The damage, I think we might be okay. We can also just use my damage down here, because then we do it at the source. So just use my damage. So let's see if it seals it so we get a whole number instead. Thunderbolt. And let's increase this. So it says right there 59 damage. Let's see if it does 59 damage or what it does. 59. Okay, so now we have rounded it up so we don't get a weird number. In general, in games, we don't see common numbers, the decimal numbers, when we do damage and stuff. So that is the improved Thunderbolt. In the next one, we are going to look at the talents down here in tier 2, and these will be debuffs. So I'm thinking that the fire debuff will do damage over time. The frost debuff will slow the target down in an amount of time, so the movement speed will be decreased, and this one has a chance to stun the target, so the target can't move for a while when it's stunned. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.